time on Ocean Warriors, crowds pour onto the beaches and Sihle has his hands full with an unexpected hitchhiker.
Penny, rescue! The guy on the board!
Penny does her first shift on duty and is confronted with an emergency situation. And a woman washes up unconscious on the beach. December in Durban is the busiest time of the year. Thousands of holidaymakers flock to the beaches and the lifeguards are on high alert to prevent fatalities. During apartheid, access to beaches was restricted and racial segregation enforced. There were not many swimming pools in the townships and swimming was not taught at school. But despite the lack of swimming ability, families love to come to the beach and bathe in the ocean. It's December 16th, Reconciliation Day. The sun is not yet up, but already there's plenty of activity at the wedge. People are drawn to the beach for many different reasons. Believing they have a spiritual connection to the ocean, religious leaders bring their followers to the beach for a cleansing ritual, tapping into the ocean's healing powers.
I'm a proud South African. You know, just coming down to the beach and seeing different church groups doing different rituals, it's very interesting. Like, I'm a pure Zulu. And when I grew up, we did our rituals and everything. I was taken in the ocean a little bit. They poured water over me and they prayed and, you know, all of that, you know. And the significance of the whole thing was to cleanse me. Some, they say they removing demons or the sickness, you know, and all of that. From what we've learned is like, you know, somebody who gets baptized, you know, you dip them in the water, bring them up, and then that's it. But you see some church groups, they grab them and then they shove them into waves. You know, it's quite scary. I mean, for me, because I know what those waves are like. Some members of the public, they'll freak out and like, how can you let them do that, you know? And interacting with all these church groups to have some knowledge on why they're doing certain things, it helps. As much as whether Xhosa, Zulu, Pondo, Sotho, we're all Africans and it makes me proud.
Trainee lifeguard Penny's day literally starts at the crack of dawn. Her son Kitty hasn't even woken up, but Penny has to leave for work. It's a big day. This morning she'll start work at Battery Beach under senior lifeguard Sihle. Battery, one of the northern beaches, is quieter and doesn't attract large crowds of holiday makers. An ideal first beach for a trainee lifeguard.
This is a pool where I've started swimming. I was 12 years old. I started swimming in 2000, and swimming now is like my passion and I love it. I'm nervous to go to Battery Beach because it's my first time. I'm quite nervous to go in the water because the waves are like really huge today. I'm scared that the board might be tossing and turning with me, but I think I'll try and face the challenge, yeah.
After a 2-hour journey, Penny arrives at her train station, early for the next step in her training. Today will be her first day carrying out real lifeguarding duties at Battery Beach. Senior lifeguard Sihle will be Penny's superior as she begins active duty on the beachfront.
Welcome to Battery Beach. This will be your home.
My new home.
Your new home, yes. Okay. Basically, this is where we work from. From that pier all the way down to Sun Coast. Bathing area, obviously there. We had a bathing area down there. We moved it across.
Why did you move the bathing area to that side?
It created a problem there. So there was a huge drop-off and people were actually getting swept off the bank into the inshore channel.
Okay.
So we are avoiding that. So we decided we're gonna shift the bathing area from there to there.
Penny is put to work enforcing Durban's zero-tolerance policy. Bathers are not permitted to swim outside of demarcated areas. This applies to those who can and cannot swim. The Festive Season Disaster Management Committee, FESMAC, manages Durban during the holiday season. The operational plans include everything from overcrowding to traffic congestion. A strategic traffic system to control the crowds entering the central beaches has been implemented. Using a system of boom gates and security personnel, the number of vehicles entering the beachfront streets will be restricted. Fewer vehicles means less people and addresses one of the other big problems, alcohol abuse.
So basically you don't have a disc, you ain't getting in. Unfortunately, this has to be done. If you don't do this here, you're just asking for huge problems. Because it's so easy just to drive booze and all that stuff straight onto the beach.
CCTV cameras have been placed in strategic locations along the beachfront. This high-tech system of crowd management means the beachfront is monitored 24/7. If anything happens, immediate action can be taken by the emergency personnel. At Battery Beach, senior lifeguard Sihle is taking a rescue boat for a test run. And at the same time, he's going to show some lifesaver volunteers a bit of action.
Now that I've filled up this one here, I'm gonna take this baby out. Girls, come on, let's go! They're loyal members of Pirates, Life Saving Club. Just gotta take them out and bounce them around the waves a little bit.
We can handle it.
Yeah, that was great.
The Day of Reconciliation came into effect in 1994 after the end of apartheid as a day to celebrate reconciliation and national unity.
It's important because it brings everybody together and it makes us realize that we should have done this years ago.
Life is too short to hold grudges. We differ in colors and languages, but we are one people.
I just know that the 16th is the day where everybody goes to the beach.
I take it as a normal day. So it's maybe to others it does, but to me, no. I'm not into that sort of history. I'm the future, I'm the new breed, so we're making our own past.
For me, it's about everybody just getting together, you know, bury the past, you know what I mean? There were days where all these beaches were segregated. This used to be an Indian beach, that was a colored beach, African beach, and all the whites were on that side. And, it's basically, burying the past, move on with life, and just try and get along.
Across the nation, this day has started to mean one thing. It's an opportunity to barbecue, or as South Africans say, braai, and bad weather is no deterrent for a braai. The Lifesaver volunteers are about to get their first glimpse of the wedge from the water. The rain may have stopped, but with cloud cover like this, the subtropical humidity becomes unbearable, and that's when people start flocking to the beach. As predicted, the wind from the north brings blue bottles. When these trailing tentacles come into contact with human skin, the sting causes unbearable pain. In Durban, the lifeguards use an age-old treatment, vinegar.
There's been a lot of blue bottle stings this morning. They started out slow, but because of there's someone in trouble, gotta go.
100 meters from the safety of the flags, this woman struggles against some powerful waves. About to go under, she does the right thing by raising her arm, the international signal that a swimmer is in trouble.
Okay, we're going to let you lie like this for a little while, just to catch your breath. And then when you're all right, we'll see if you can get up and go home. But I will advise you to go see a doctor immediately, just to make sure there's no water left in your lungs. Right. Okay.
Anne, a strong swimmer who hails from Canterbury, south of London, has made an unwise decision to swim outside the bathing area.
I was a bit of a naughty girl. I didn't swim between the beacons. I thought I'd go where it was quieter.
Got it out. Did I check the vitals? She was alright. She was breathing on her own. The breathing was normal.
Luckily for me, Benny came. He was very calm, very professional, and saved my life. Benny's physique is deceptive. He's quite skinny, but he's an incredibly strong swimmer.
The crowds have flocked to the Wedge and South Beach. Families like this area as there are a variety of activities to keep the children amused, including a fun fair and the paddling pools. Sihle knows that with these large crowds, something is bound to disrupt the peaceful day. Sensing impending danger, he leaves Penny and his team at Battery Beach and goes on patrol at the Wedge.
We're doing now a normal patrol. What we do, we patrol up and down the crowd just to make sure that they don't go beyond the shallow end.
Looks like he's picked up a hitchhiker. This is an extremely dangerous way to travel and should not be attempted at any beach.
But I kept my eye on him because I was worried that it was either going to grab onto the prop guard, and that's where you don't want to grab because the propeller is going.
Sihle is annoyed with this troublemaker, but also has to think about getting him to safety.
So eventually I drove all the way, and then I did a tight port turn, and then that threw him off onto the bank.
Drama is unfolding at the Wedge. A distressed girl and her irate mother have something to report. Somebody has harassed the girl while she was swimming, an offense the lifeguards take very seriously. Sihle arrives just in time to take control of the situation.
The behavior is just absolutely unacceptable. For what reason it did what it did, we really, we don't know. It was just foolish. For me, it's upsetting.
The offender is reportedly wearing a white vest, but it's like finding a needle in a haystack. The search has to be abandoned when Sihle is alerted to another emergency. This now becomes a case for law enforcement. A woman has stumbled ashore and is now unconscious. The crowd has already formed a ring of death. It seems to be human nature for onlookers to focus on tragedy. The lifeguards don't know what happened to her, but it looks serious. She fails to respond. In this situation, the most important thing is to get her off the beach as quickly as possible using whatever means. The quad bike moves along the crowded beach and brings her to the first aid room. In cases like these, knowing a patient's medical history is critical. Someone has to find her relatives or friends. Luckily, the relatives make their way to the first aid room. The patient remains non-responsive.
She must have got into a ditch or something and a wave hit her over and she got in a bit of a panic.
The situation takes a turn for the worst when she starts having a seizure, a sign that she's experienced a near drowning.
This is pretty much the worst I've seen.
An ambulance is called. It battles to make its way through the crowds that flock to the promenade.
When able to get from North Beach to here, it will take them normally on an empty day, it will take them less than 5 minutes, but today it will take them half an hour because there's so much crowd.
The patient is taken to the emergency room at nearby Addington Hospital. The patient is suffering from a near drowning and will be monitored closely over the next 24 hours. Doctors are concerned that she's at risk of sustaining neurological damage or worse. Bahle, a student from Durban, spent 4 days in hospital. She was discharged and went to recover in her family home in the mountainous Transkei region, 200 kilometers from Durban.
Khathi ezilezi gagasilo lokuqala khathi ngivuka ngisayigxikixi kwezelinye after lokho ke angazi ukuthi kwenzakala ini.
Service sibizwa ingane zamakhelwane ukuthi hayibo ubahle nangu elontezeni ekhishwa engaphandle olwandle elele. Ngale nkathi edlikiza ngaphatheka kabuhlungu impela ngangazi noma uzosinda noma akazokusinda yini.
Ngoba akaze ngaphaphama sengesibhedlela sengibuzwa inesi ukuthi ngiyazibona yini ukuthi ngikuphi. Ngibonga kakhulu kuma lifeguard ukuthi asiza impilo yami cause ngicishe ngafa kodwa ke ngoba kwenzekelanga bonga noNkulunkulu ukuthi phela ungisizile.
A blustery southwest wind has brought in a large swell, sending crashing waves onto the beach. But the sea conditions are no deterrent for this early morning baptism ceremony. Penny is still battling with her board skills, and senior lifeguard Sihle sees the big waves as an opportunity to test her before the crowd start arriving.
Yeah, this is the day. Are you ready?
But we're not going for.
No. Okay, we're not going to sharpness.
Even though they're not going for.
Okay, all right, let's go.
When the weather's like this, I never feel great actually, to be honest. I hate windy weathers.
Penny enters the sea. Sihle then goes in to coach her from the water. Penny gets hit by a wave she can't handle. She's now stuck in the breakers as a series of waves pummel her. The last wave is too much, and it dumps her and her board unceremoniously on the shore.
The waves today, they were really huge. It was really bad. I couldn't control the board. I was so nervous. I was keep on thinking that something bad could happen to me. I have to face the fears and I have to conquer it.
Poor Penny, she got drilled, but it's something that she needs to get used to.
Just 2 kilometers away from Battery Beach is peaceful Addington Beach. Members of the Marine Surf Club prepare for their annual celebration, a barbecue or braai at sea.
It's a tradition for the Marine Surf Lifesaving Club to go out to the shark nets and have a braai. We have to make an unconventional craft, so you can't use your normal skis and boards. You have to build your own raft.
There are many activities on the Durban beachfront, but cooking hot dogs and hamburgers on the ocean isn't usually one of them.
So they paddle out in rafts with a floating braai, and they'll tie off with the shark nets and just drink and braai and celebrate. You can expect a lot of drinking, a lot of swearing, and you might be seeing a lot of bare bums.
There's only 3 countries in the world that still currently have shark nets as an anti-shark measure. So we can't have a shark net party if we don't have shark nets. So that's why our Lifesaving Club keeps our tradition going.
Marine! Marine!
The flat seas are ideal for the 500-meter paddle to the shark nets on these rather cumbersome sea craft filled to capacity with men, meat and beer. The festive season carnival makes its way along the promenade. The good weather means the crowds are flocking to have some fun in the sun. And then, senior lifeguard Sihle races through the growing crowds to Addington Beach, where a woman has had an epileptic fit in the water.
Okay, stand by. We got an epileptic shark.
Sihle assesses the situation, questioning lifeguards and family members. He knows the patient has to be moved away from the water's edge, but the crowd closes in, affecting his ability to do the job. Law enforcement officers arrive quickly and take charge of crowd control, giving Sihle the space he needs.
Normal procedure is just to stabilize the patient. While they're fitting, you have to not touch them at all, because if you try and restrain them from any movement, you could hurt them. If you hold their head, they could turn the other way, you could break their neck. So that's why in a fitting patient, you should leave that patient. A lot of people, they have this belief that you should put something in their mouths, but you shouldn't. You should let them fit until they finish. It was a huge battle. I mean, getting through the crowd, they didn't know what was going on, and some of them, they were like, what's going on? Why are you driving like this? They didn't know that we had an emergency.
This patient has breathed in a lot of water. As a result, her lungs will have a reduced capacity to take in the oxygen her body needs to survive. Organs can shut down. She's put on supplementary oxygen and taken to hospital where she'll be carefully monitored. The members of the Marine Surf Club are 500 meters from shore at the shark nets having a barbecue. They get a visit from the lifeguards to check that everyone is behaving themselves.
Put your right leg over my shoulder! Put your right leg over my shoulder!
Guys do keep eye on them. I mean, like a few times we've had to help tow them in, the wind changed or one of their rafts started sinking. So, yeah, we always help out. It's one of those things, eh?
I've sink to the bottom and drink my way up.
Cooking all sorts of horse, meat, mushrooms.
Let's just hope sharks are not attracted to the smell of meat, mushrooms and beer. The lifeguards spot a bather in trouble.
Penny, rescue! The guy on the ball!
Penny is the closest, so seizes the opportunity to perform her first rescue. The beach ball acts like a sail, and in these conditions could drag this bather out to sea. Penny needs to act fast to prevent a tragedy. She dives into the water and quickly makes her way towards the victim. She then brings him to shore, completing her very first rescue.
Penny, she did well in that rescue. I like to, throw in a deep end, especially when there's something like that. She's very calm, And I mean, that's what I like about her. She's very confident, you know.
It felt great to save him, hey? Even though it wasn't that hectic, but it felt great, yeah.
Penny is accustomed to the calm water of swimming pools and battles with her board skills in the ocean's big waves. She will not obtain her qualification if she doesn't manage to master the waves.
What you need to do is just wait for the sets to clear. Once the sets are clear, just jump on your board, put your head down and just paddle as hard as you can. Okay? Yeah, it's a bit all over the place. Your main thing now is just to catch one of the biggest waves. Okay, those waves will take you all the way in.
It is big, hey?
But it's okay, as long as you can time it properly, again, we shouldn't have a problem. Okay? All right, let's get out there. Okay, come on, go. Get on the board now, Penny. Get on now! Come on, paddle, paddle, paddle.
Penny's paddling into an incoming tide, with waves peaking at about 1.5 meters.
I see some progress from the last time she paddled out, definitely. I'm very proud of her. You know, she's a very, very, very gutsy lifeguard. Yes! That's it. There you go, yes! Woo! Nice! Stay on it, stay on it, on it. Nice, Penny. Woo! Very nice. Damn, I'm so proud of you. That was awesome. How did you find it?
Yeah. I just told myself, relax. Just relax and enjoy it.
Oh, I'm proud of you. I thought you were getting hammered.
I nailed it, yeah.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah, that's nice. Very, very nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm not scared anymore because I achieved it. That's the whole point, to achieve. Yeah.
Penny passes her lifeguard qualification. Her next step in becoming a permanent lifeguard will be a job interview with the Durban municipality. She has high hopes she will fulfill her dream of becoming a lifeguard. Over the festive season, 3.7 million holidaymakers visited the Durban beachfront. The lifeguards took care of 7,248 first aid cases and performed 1,368 rescues.
It was pretty much the same as every season that we've dealt with. The same amount of crowds, same drinking, the same fighting. The lifeguards did their job to the T.
The partying, the fun and the sun may be over, but for these heroes, the job of keeping the beaches safe never ends.
We'll be here next year doing the same thing and carrying on as we do, eh? We just got to go through a nice stride.
Are we here to stay?